with the Freedom of Information Act, the news media has been notified and a copy of the agenda has been made available to the public. This meeting is open to the public and the public is welcome to attend in person. All persons wishing to attend this meeting by virtual means may do so via YouTube Sumter School District board meetings and Sumter School District's Facebook page. Vision: Sumter School District is committed to educating, empowering, and enriching the lives of all students to reach their full potential. Our mission: Sumter School District is committing to providing safe, nurturing, and high-quality educational environment that supports diversity and equips students for local and global success. Committee members: myself, Jeff Zell, I represent Area 8. I'm the chairman of this Transportation Ad Hoc Committee. Tara Kosar Johnson, Trustee Johnson, and Trustee Sherry White. And I'm not sure if they're here today. I haven't heard from them. In attendance, we have some of our executive team. First of all, our superintendent, William Wright, our operations director, Samuel Myers, our executive assistant to the board and trust and superintendent, Ms. Shante Scott, the communications director, Ms. Shelley Galloway, supervisor of transportation, correct me if I'm wrong on that, Mr. Jones, Mr. Brian Jones, and Kyle Langelis, and I believe he's our IT expert who's streaming this for us. Before we start, I would like to take a moment for a moment of silence, and then we will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you for the reminder on that. Okay. Let me get started here. All right. Pull up the agenda. Okay, so this meeting is now in order. My opening remarks, I'm going to make this short and sweet, probably the shortest and hopefully the sweetest transportation meeting we've had thus far. We just had a meeting just not 2 weeks ago with some really good information that came out. So I just want to say thank you so much for that, for everybody involved, Mr. Myers, Superintendent, Mr. Jones. Thank you for all the input and hard work that you're putting towards this. Without question, it is making a difference, and it's in the data and the measurements and the sentiment of the people I talk with every day that we are making a difference. So hats off to you, and let's keep up the good work. So first on the agenda is my open remarks. If there is no objections to the agenda, the agenda will stand. Hearing none, we will move on to 3.1, and this is, it looks like we have a couple items to talk about. We have recruitment talking points, and that's something, if Mr. Myers, if I think that might be your document.
Yes, it is.
That's something you just want to just start talking to, by all means, we can
Sure.
just jump right into it.
I will yield to Dr. Wright if he can get started with some things.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I asked, actually, Ms. Galloway and I had a conversation about some ideas regarding marketing. We are working on improving our marketing strategy for the district as a whole. And that, of course, includes transportation as well. We are looking just at the way that we brand and like I said, and market ourselves. And so because Ms. Galloway was the brainchild behind some of this work that we did in collaboration with Mr. Myers and myself, we have we put together something, Mr. Zell, that I'd like for her to present to us tonight. for food for thought as we move forward. So,
Absolutely.
Ms.
Yes,
Galloway?
sir.
Okay, so good evening, Dr. Wright and Chairman Zell and members of the Transportation Ad Hoc Committee. I am thrilled to present a marketing pitch aimed at recruiting 16 dedicated individuals to join our team of school bus drivers. In an effort to create excitement and anticipation, we propose a 16-day countdown campaign featuring 16 key messages, each highlighting a compelling reason why someone would want to embark on fulfilling a career as a school bus driver. And the campaign, which will include a combination of video and social media icons, will be featured on social media platforms. In addition, we will share this information with the media and the community at large.
Absolutely.
So by strategically disseminating these key messages over the 16-day period, we aim to build excitement and interest in the role of a school bus driver, which will ultimately drive qualified candidates to apply for the upcoming training class. So in board docs, you have a list of those 16 key messages that we would like to put out and share. And this will, again, tie in with the training class, and we'll do the 16-day countdown, 16 messages, aiming at hiring 16 bus drivers.
Well, I think that, can I speak? I think that's phenomenal. That's really taking the bull by the horn, so to speak. I'm looking at it now, and I think this is exactly what we need to be doing. Congratulations on all you for really getting your hands around this issue. I'm loving this, and I think that the media and the community, the public needs to see this, to see how serious you all are taking it. And I think this is going to prayerful that this will prove very fruitful. So thank you for that. That is really something. And however I can help, I want to be a part of this. I'll boots on the ground. Count me in.
Okay.
All right. Man, that's good. How you doing,
Mr. Myers also attended, and you can fill in the gap, Mr. Myers, but you also attended a transportation workshop, and a couple of the things that Mr. Myers learned and saw and everything. I would like to give space for him to talk about those things that he saw at this time.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Mr. Jones and I had the opportunity to attend the state directors conference, and it was proven to be quite beneficial. There were a couple of things that we want to bring forth, and it's been one of the questions that has, I guess, surfaced over a period of time in reference to the process of Traversa. Just listening to the larger districts and even all the way down to the smaller districts, there was a collaborated effort to try to make it work. And at the larger districts, many of them have indicated that they will stop trying to use it because there are too many issues with that process. Tyler Engineering has been working to get with each of the districts, and it's proven itself that there are too many things that are happening there that we cannot make it work at this time. It's not, quote unquote, marrying up with Power School.
What we need, absolutely.
And we've been trying our best to make that work. Mr. Jones has been working with IT, trying to pull it together, and it just has not come together.
Okay.
And that's one of the main issues, or one of the main conversations that took up a lot of the time that we had, and that's what we were waiting for. And Mr. Jones can attest to that. All of the other things they talked about didn't carry any weight except for when we got to that one. And it did not, all of the time that we've spent trying to get that online is wasted time in a sense, because we just cannot make it work. So in light of that, it's not that we were trying to put it off. That the issues themselves are so grand until the engineering company is trying to go back and revamp what they've done and what they've allowed the state to take on and share with the various districts. So at this juncture, we're just going to call time out until Tyler Engineering can get to us. And I think, Mr. Jones, they're coming in January.
Correct.
Okay. They're coming in January. So at that time, we'll see whether we can go forward with it or not. But at this time, we cannot move with it. And Ride 360 is an app that is not working anywhere across the state. Now, you may have some districts that are struggling with it. Some may have it working okay, but the majority of the districts, big and small, have had too many problems with that as well. So we're just in a holding pattern, and until we can get that worked out, we'll just keep everyone posted on how that's going. Mr. Jones, is there anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, you pretty much hit it. Right, that was our biggest concern, was the Ride 360, and you pretty much covered that. So, okay, excellent.
Just a couple questions. So, and I apologize. Thank you for that, by the way. First, absolutely, not everything that we're going to try is going to work. And so at some point you have to just say, this is causing more problems than it is helping. And so I commend you on making that call. We just have to look we'll have to come back to this and
right.
see what processes it touches. But the one question I had, I guess, is was it just Ride 360 or all of Traversa that is non-functional?
All of the entire process.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a great update. I wish it wasn't the answer. I wish it was. It works. Everybody loves it. Let's implement it yesterday and then move on. But you know how that's not how the world works.
That's right.
Yes. I appreciate that. And then we'll have to obviously come back to figure out options, right? And I'm sure you all are working those. And by the way, I'm actually looking at things myself as well. And I'll share those with you all in a few minutes. But was there anything else you wanted to add, or are you finished with that?
We're finished with that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, great. All right. Well, Thank you for that. Really, I don't have a lot. I have, we have talked about, well, first I want to say, the praise report, if you will. I just visited Lakewood today. Superintendent, I was about to send you an email to tell you how much I appreciated going down there and what I saw. And what I saw was a lot of dedicated employees trying to do big things. And so, trying to make things work, and hats off to them. That said, they told me that in the past they had a bus that was perpetually late to from about 10 to 10:30 was, I believe, the time, and for the last couple of weeks, for some reason, that magic happened, and I'm sure there's a legitimate logistical reason for it, but they said that bus has been showing up about 9 o'clock every day now. So there's these we're seeing these wins. I'm hearing about them consistently from all over the place, and I think it's very important for us to tell the public what we're the problems that we still facing, but we are making progress. And so if that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing was tomorrow I'm having a meeting with myself, a gentleman I just met, a high-ranking official at Shaw. He's in the process of retiring, and Tech Sergeant Wildman tomorrow. We're going to have lunch, and we're going to really kind of brainstorm about how we can, and I didn't put this in your guys' ear too much yet. I just wanted to really see if it was even a viable option. But we're going to talk about the essentially there's an apprenticeship program I've told you all about called Skill Bridge, and so we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that tomorrow to see how that program can, if it can help us and create a pipeline from retiring and separating airmen at Shaw to the school district. And I think that would be a pretty phenomenal thing, something I've certainly been advocating for. And so I don't want to say too much because I don't want to overpromise, but we are going to have conversations and to see where this can go. And once we figure that out, I'm certainly going to bring it to you all, get your take on it, and see if that's something that we can do within the district as well. But I think it would be a great relationship to start nurturing. And so that said, now I just have 4 questions, and there's all the same questions you've heard. You heard me ask before. Where are we at with driver vacancies? Do we have a number for that?
From the last time that we spoke, we're in the process of training individuals right now, and Mr. Jones and our other trainers are working with some, and so we're not going to certify them until the process has been completed.
Understood. Okay,
so we're still where we are.
Okay. Well,
right
that
now.
what we have people in the pipeline.
Right.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So barring we don't have people leave, fired, transfer, quit, move on, those new folks in the pipeline could really put us down at the, because we are, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, are we not at the lowest point of our bus driver vacancies in
Yes.
a rolling 2-year span?
Yes.
I mean, that's phenomenal. And what I hope to be, and I've said this before, is what I want other districts to look at what Sumter's doing and say, wow, how did they pull that off? And I think that we can, and I know that we can. And so last time we spoke, we had tablets and radios being installed. How are we looking on that?
Mr. Jones, you want to give an update on those, please?
Absolutely. As far as the tablets are still on hold because they're a part of the Traversa piece.
That's correct.
So they're still on hold as far as tablets. Our radios are installed, and we have them up and running, and we are on our way. Well, on our way using those radios.
Is it helping? Are you getting good feedback?
Absolutely. It is
good.
very beneficial.
Okay. And obviously, you're probably already doing it, but I think it needs to be stated, whatever issues you all have with them, I would suggest, obviously taking note, if they're dead spots that we don't, and coverage, that sort of thing. Cause by all accounts, our radios are a safety item, right?
Absolutely.
Just as much as they are a communications item. So
Yes.
I think that, if you're not doing that, and not to burden anymore, but to make processes better, it's always good to kind of jot those issues down. And my last question, and this is my last question, is there any update on the transportation director position? Is there any movement on that? I think that's a Dr. Wright question, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to put you on the spot, sir.
You're fine. You're fine. We have certainly had the discussion in the office. We've got a posting out there now. Is that up yet, Dr. Kumas? Is that right?
Sorry, I was trying to find my microphone. No, sir, it's not up yet.
Okay.
We needed to finalize the job description. We met with Dr. Wright and Mr. Myers and myself. We came up with some criteria for the job description. We need to finalize that, and then we will post it.
So Mr. Zell, full transparency, I was at a conference last week. This is my first day back in the office, so we'll get that. We'll try to get all that wrapped up and get it going.
Yes, sir.
This week. Yeah.
Well, I just appreciate. Well, welcome back. First, secondly, Mr. Kumas, I hope you're enjoying Paris there.
Absolutely, it's a
I
wonderful
want to be
time.
in Paris as well. That said, it really looks like you're in Paris. But anyway, so thank you for that. Obviously, best case scenario, and things are rarely best case scenario. Things work out exactly the way that we want them. But I appreciate y'all putting the effort towards that and that posting. I mean, I'm curious to see. I haven't checked it, but I'm curious to see when it does go up. I'll be a real happy camper when it hits that website. But I just want to say thank you for all of that effort. And
yes, sir. We'll be sure to let you know as soon as that gets done.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, and I appreciate that. And
right.
to be honest, so it looks like we have one more document. Is that something that? Oh, okay. There's another document in Mr. Myers in the board docs. Are you seeing that?
Yes, those were the questions that you shared from the previous meeting. Once the meeting ended, you came up with some additional ones.
Yes, sir.
And I think everyone can see those. So
sure. And Ms. Scott, is this are these questions made available to the public and the media?
They are posted for the public.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, then if I'm actually very okay with not covering these right now if they have access to it, if that's fine with you all, unless you want to speak to it.
No, that's good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. Well, good. Dr. Wright, you're square on that? You're good?
Yeah, yes, sir. I am. I do want to remind us of one thing. Mr. Myers told me. I'm telling on him a little bit. When he went to the conference last week, he learned. I mean, I think we already knew this, but you know, it's kind of validated that
Sure.
you know there are bus driver shortages across the state and
Absolutely.
actually nation. Everybody is talking about how to address and fix these things, just like we're doing here.
That's right. Yes, sir.
The point that that I heard him say, you said it a little bit differently, Mr. Myers, in the way I'll say it. But many of these problems, even with all the creative work that we're doing, example you gave with Lakewood and things of that nature, we're trying not to leave any stone unturned.
Sure. Yes, sir.
But the thing that's really going to fix this is personnel. We've got to have more people driving buses. And so as we do the trainings, as we work to try to retain the people that we have,
Sure.
Transportation doesn't work well without people.
Amen.
So,
that's right.
And so in our executive leadership team meeting this morning, with the other things, he also talked about that. And so I told him, well, you let me say that tonight.
Yes, sir.
But we've got to have that.
You're absolutely right. Well, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. Buses don't drive themselves.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
I think with this recruitment campaign and what I think that what I'm seeing here now is a real development in the urgency and aggression. And that I don't use that term as a negative, but as just an adjective. Being very aggressive in this approach is I think that is, we'll see, obviously time will tell, but I think the aggressiveness that we take with recruitment is going to be sort of that magic, that the secret in the sauce kind of thing. And so I just want to say, if please utilize me, I'll drive house to house and put flyers on doors if I have to. Right. I'm that serious about this, and y'all are too. I'm not asking you to put flyers on homes. I'll do that. Okay. But just taking that sense of urgency and aggressive ownership of it to a next level, I think is going to be the thing that gets us to where we need to be. And, we've quite literally done almost everything that we could have done through increasing pay, the bus driver pay, the code of conduct, things like that. I think there's some other opportunities there, sort of on the edges of the bus driver issues that could be helpful. But really, like you said, Superintendent, we got to have people. And so I just really appreciate this. I hope I see this in the paper being written about, because this is a pretty big deal to me. And I just want to say thank you for all that. Anybody else want to opine on this before I move on to the next thing?
No,
okay,
we're good.
All right. So the steps moving forward, I think I'm really appreciating what I'm seeing from the attention placed on this issue. I think we're going to be a sort of an example to follow from other districts. Despite us all having the same problems, likely not everyone's putting the same measure of importance and urgency on that. And so the early bird gets the worm, right? And so here we're gonna do it. So what I hope that I don't know when the next meeting is. I don't have any intentions or need. I don't believe there's a need to have another meeting until, I would say, at least mid-January, late January, if that. And it's something we can talk about because the wheels are finally really starting to turn here. And I think at this point, it's just sort of updates. And so I don't think we need to really change the trajectory or the mindset we've been taking. So, and of course, if superintendent or you and your team want to have more meetings, by all means, let me know. We'll get them scheduled. But I don't want to burden people. I don't want to have meetings for the sake of having meetings. I don't like that. And I know you don't either. All right. So, Ms. White, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so at this time. Mr. Myers and Dr. Wright pretty much covered. I do like the way that we're moving forward, and trying to work out the kinks that I I hate that there are kinks with the Traversa and
Sure.
the 360 app or whatever. However, it's good to know that we're not the only ones having the problem, so it's not us.
That's right.
But I do like the fact that everybody is moving forward and
Absolutely.
and actively. Maybe that's better than aggressively.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Actively and aggressively trying to find solutions, and I do appreciate that.
That's correct. Absolutely.
That's
Okay.
all. That's
Well,
one thing I
Well, I
have.
appreciate that, and I agree with those sentiments. And anybody else on the floor have anything that they'd like to add before I move on? Mr. Jones, you have anything?
I'm good.
All right. And Mr. Kumis, I'm sure you're looking at the PR or I'm sorry, HR aspects of this. We appreciate that because that is obviously a big one we have to, that can really extend the timelines out sometimes unnecessarily. So I appreciate you taking those efforts. And all right, so next, I guess we'll move on to the next thing. Like I said, steps moving forward. We'll talk about when best suited to have another meeting. Again, Mr. Myers, it's obviously going to be the same kind of questions I always ask. So thank you for just kind of taking them and running with them. And so we'll get to that. The recommendations to the Board of Trustees, if they're on 4.2, if there's anything any recommendations that you all need, whether it be, like I said, we're in the business of policy and oversight. And so if there's any policy that please let me know. You are all the experts, not me. And I will certainly advocate for those that makes sense. And we'll go from there.
Mr. Zell, if I may, I'm hoping that by then, for sure, by our meeting next Monday, we will have an update to be able to give you regarding the position and its posting.
Absolutely.
So I think that might be a good update for the
Yes.
board.
Well, I look forward to it. I really appreciate that. I'm sure Mr. Bruce Mills probably would like to hear that as well, and he'll watch this meeting. I know he will.
Yeah, along with the public relations things that we talked
right.
about. I think those two items would be
perfect.
important to share with the full board.
I'm excited about that. Absolutely.
Yes, all right. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Well, if there's no objections, we'll move on to 5.1, approval of the minutes from the previous meeting on 14 November. If there's no objection to that agenda, it will stand as approved. Do I hear any objections? Okay, hearing none. The consent agenda stands as approved. And I think I've said my closing remarks repeatedly. So I just want to say thank you for all that you do. I know we have one more full board meeting between now and Christmas. And if I don't talk to some of you, I just want to say thank you for all the efforts you put in this year. I know that we can be a bit of a pill. I know I certainly can. I just want to say it's not because I don't care. It's because I want to help. And I've really seen big efforts come from this district. And obviously, we all know we have a lot of work to do, but we don't get there sitting on our hands. And I just thank you all for the amount of effort and focus that you're putting on these big problems. So that's my closing remarks. God bless all of you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and all that. And if anyone doesn't have anything else, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much, and have a good rest of your night.
Thank you all. See you Monday.
29 minutes.
That's good.